top 10 worst knives that I ever used, in no particular order, and I'll be explaining why those are bad, which ones should you avoid, and why specifically. So first off, junk drawer knife. Garage sale finding. Usually you'll find those things on a garage sale for $1, maybe less, sometimes for even more. This thing is worth probably minus $5. You have to pay me to own this. It truly is that bad. So first of all, when you open this up, it opens up. And then, guess what? It has a closer. It's right here. Pretty much press this thing as you close, and then you have to use your fingers. This thing is absolutely a nightmare. It's pretty much guaranteed to eventually snap back on you, and the lock is going to fail. And not to mention a finger chopper guillotine made inside of it as well. So if you accidentally put your finger in here and you close it, chick chick chop chop. This thing is bad. Don't buy it, don't own it, throw this out. Right in the recycle box. Next thing over here is this knife right now, which is one step up from this one and one step down. This thing, you're going to be finding it probably in a gas station, and it has a back lock over here, which is a little bit on the safer than that one. Like I say, a little bit, it's not really that safe. It also operates almost the same identical thing here. It has no brand name. It has had a lot of use. It cannot cut for shit, and it is a terrible knife. We'll be doing cutting tests later on. And yeah, this is something you don't want to have. The grip here, non-existent, easily to slip on, something you shouldn't get as well. Next knife over here, AliExpress favorite, coming directly from that site, is a knockoff of something. I don't know what brand this is. I don't know what this thing, oh, this is a Jaguar. Never heard of it. It's just one of those knives that has not too great of a knife. This is not too bad. Out of all those knives here, it's probably a little bit on the decent side here. Now, what I don't like about this is the lock here. So the lock here is this. Now, this is another lock that could be prone to failure. This is why I'm talking about locks here. This one, if you don't close it all the way like this, easily just snaps back on. So eventually this thing is not gonna go ahead and jump into this side, and eventually it's just gonna do something like this, and it's still gonna be opened. So this one is an accident waiting to happen. Another knife that I'm not highly recommending for you to get, but there's plenty of knives that use the side lock just like this, and not something I think is a good knife overall. Next thing over here is the junk drawer favorite. It's this one over here. So bad. If you see my other video about it, disintegrated as I just opened this thing up. So right here you can see it just started going bad as soon as I opened this knife up. Now the way you open this thing is it's like a switchblade kind of a thing. It opens by inertia. It has the same exact bed lock over here. I've used this for quite some time. This is a little bit better variation of one of the cheaper knives over here, and yet it still has the really bad lock. It can't cut for shit. It is a bad knife overall. It's probably better than other knives I reviewed down here, which are just as much as a trash knife. Swiss Army knockoff. There's plenty of those on eBay. Do yourself a favor. Get the real deal. Don't get the fake Swiss Army knives. They are horrible. The steel quality is bad. The only decent thing I could say about this thing is that sometimes this specific tool that I have the hardest trouble getting out can actually be something that you can get this out of here. That's probably the only decent thing about this. But overall, this knife is just not good. It's just the quality of the scissors here, sub quality. and they don't cut well. Oh wow, they cut something. So yeah, this is not something you should consider getting. And you can see the quality of the whole material construction, even the toothpick over here, and the tweezers. It's just not that great. Overall, the quality is probably a 5 out of 10. Swiss Army will be a 9 to a 10 out of 10. This is bad. Next knife over here, and voila! Got this. No, saving the battle for last. Is this the guillotine chopper? Pretty much the paracord. Swiss. No, not Swiss. This is the Garbo paracord. That's what it is. And there is a bigger size of this. This is the small size, and it features a frame lock. The lock is right in the frame, less likely to really go against you. It's also exceptionally hard for you to open and close this. Your finger hurts every time you do this. Next thing about this is that the finger chopper right here. Accidentally put your finger as you're closing this. It's going to go ahead and cut you. It is a stupid design, and the bigger one is even more stupid than this one. Something I don't recommend for beginners. As a knife, it's okay. The cutting quality is horrible with this thing. Next thing is, let's go for this one. Now, this one is Mossy Oak. This is actually not a bad company overall, but the reason why I'm showing you this specific knife, why it's one of my 10 worst knives, first of all, take a look at this. This thing is a stabber. It's pretty much one of those knives. I really dislike knives that are like this. They're very long and they have a pointed blade. They are very hard for newbies to use. Those things are easily for you to chip and break eventually. Now the only good thing about this, it does close with the access lock, so it has a much safer lock than all the rest of the knives over here. This is probably one of the more decent ones on this whole entire list. The reason why I put here, I had to have a number 10. And this one is probably the best out of all those knives you see over here, all combined, for its own reasons. But one thing I dislike about, like I said, and I would really highly tell you to avoid, is knives that are like this. They're very sharp, they're very long, and they're not great for people who are just into knife collecting or using whatsoever. Next one over here is this right there. Wow, this one is a good knife if it is the original one. It is the Klepto knife. It is the SAG Klepto. Now, this is not a bad knife overall. As you can see, this design, the reason why I'm telling you about this, why this is actually a bad one, is that because it's a knockoff version of the same thing, and you can find those on eBay much cheaper than the real deal, yet the quality is absolutely horrible. As you can see, the steel quality, scratches all together, it cannot cut for shit, and that's the knife I would definitely avoid. So this is a good company. It is a good knife. If you get the real deal, make sure you get this at authorized sources only. Don't get the knockoffs. Talking about knockoffs over here, we got this, the Bug Out. Everyone favorite knife to absolutely hate, and yet this is not the real version of it as well. Even the real one, I'm not too happy with it, but the fake ones on Amazon, this thing can snap in half. So if you're getting this, don't get this from AliExpress, don't get this from Alibaba. Watch out with eBay, because some of those things are knockoffs. The knockoffs are not this great. They don't have the whole entire logo over here, and they are not the real deal. So stay away from them. Last thing is the one over here. This is the Garbo remix over here. This is not the one I like. I dislike. I'm not somebody who hates Garbo. Sometimes they come up with good knives. This specific one is not good. Regardless of how many times I added to this knife, I have added oil, it refuses to open. and close. So you can't actually even open this with your finger right here. You can try, you can't do it. You have to always do two-hand opening. It's always hard for you to open this. And then the same exact deal when you close it, also than that, it's also hard to do. So is this a good knife overall for the value, for the price? Not this great. The quality is horrible and something I don't really think you should get for yourself. So yeah, we have 10 knives over here. My Junk Joe special, and most of those I don't recommend for you to use. And with the exception, of course, Real Deal, this one. Real Deal, this one over here. So the SAG real, the bug out, the real one is going to be pretty decent. It is overpriced for what it is. It is a good knife altogether. This one is a good knife, specialty knife, but don't ever get the knockoff because it is a terrible quality. And rest of here are just bad. This one is okay if you're looking for a specialized use just like this, and like I said before, it is very sharp and it can actually cut your fingers as it closes over here. So spend extra money, get something a little better when it comes to that. And lastly, this one over here, the Gimmicks, which is, I actually like this knife. I like the style, I like the substance, I like holding it. I hate opening and I absolutely hate closing this knife. So overall, all of those are probably 5 and under. Some of them are -2, and for the exception of a few of them, this could be a -5. As promised, the cutting test. Let's go ahead and check it out. Not bad. This one is really sharp right out of the box, as you can see over here. And nah, not that great. Next one over here, let's check this one out. That is sharp, very sharp indeed. I do think that this one is one of the more decent knives over here we have. Let's go ahead and check this one over here. Well, it's pretty good right there. This is good in terms of cutting. Right there. It's pretty good. Aha! Fail. The fake bug out. This is actually pretty decent. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. This actually did better than the rest of them here so far. Junk Joe one. Nah. Fail. Next one over here. This one. I don't know if I should even bother with this. Okay, it did cut. Alright. Next one over here. You see, this one is actually, this is why I use this one. This one is actually pretty good. This one right here. It does cut. It actually cuts. I'm surprised this thing actually works. And last one for least, this one right here. This one is probably the most decent one I have tested so far.